Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at LEGO Builder's journey on the Nintendo Switch. Now this is a LEGO game that's definitely breaking the mold and it's completely different to the typical LEGO experience. But is this one going to be worth your cash, or should they have maybe just, stuck to the tried and tested formula? Well, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. So story, and I definitely want to keep this high level, no spoilers, but I will say with no dialogue, this is not only a more mature tale than we typically see from the LEGO name, but left down to interpretation as well. The core concept is a father, I guess, guiding their son through a world of building, of creativity, and showing them how to almost overcome obstacles. But this again is never stated. It could be a mother, a mentor, a friend. That is completely up to you. Early into the game though, you get separated and it's kind of time to reunite, I guess. I saw themes here though of loss, struggle, celebration, love, the monotony sometimes of life, all these things and honestly more, which is impressive because that's a string of words I never thought I would say alongside a game with LEGO in the name. It's worth knowing as well at this point, this is the first game in 15 years from LEGO Games directly, and they've come with some serious intention of showing the importance of, just play in our lives. Gameplay wise then, it's simple. Solve these almost diorama like worlds. You pick up LEGO pieces, you click them into place and away you go, building to understand what this location demands of you. And there's around, I'd say, 65 levels in total. The game gives absolutely no explanation to you of what each demands, but it's all surprisingly almost intuitive, and each level comes with that almost light bulb moment as you realize what the game is demanding of you. Controls though, they could not be simpler. The left stick controls piece selection, which it snaps to automatically. A tap of the A button picks a piece up, another tap will rotate that piece, and then holding A will actually connect it to the board. You can also press B to drop a piece if you should choose to. You can also then rotate the camera left and right and up and down with the right stick, though the game, I will say, it doesn't give you, full rotation, rather it's more like limited movement. This game though, it's all about getting a player from point A to point B, so a recurring theme of the game here is building pathways, building bridges to connect 2 points across the map, but it has just enough variety that you will definitely not get bored. Our character's movement also isn't as simple as just any old brick, rather they must actually connect to a specific yellow piece that are nearly constantly present. This game is just super relaxed. Everything about it feels meditative. Not once did I get frustrated or annoyed, which is so often the case with puzzle experiences. Rather here, curiosity, it took over as I dove into the scene, just trying to unravel its kind of plot points, while also just kind of basking in what I was, putting together and creating. It's the most LEGO a LEGO game has felt to me in a long time. My actions on many levels were creating something new, something unseen. The only real constant in this game, you have a limited number of bricks here, so you definitely have to work within those restrictions. The only real issue I had with the core gameplay itself, very occasionally the perspective tripped me up with where I was trying to lay a brick. A couple of minor moments demand speed as well, and the controls are just not designed for that. And then finally, the game was on Apple Arcade originally. This is actually an extended edition of the game, but the extension feels a little unnecessary, honestly. It took me maybe 2 hours to beat, which I know it's not the longest of games ever, but that extra 30 minutes, the levels kind of felt, lacking in polish somewhat compared to where the original game ended, and I think this would have been better almost as a separate optional extension that we could choose from some sort of menu. That said though, it's more content, which is no doubt, better than less. The most unusual thing about this one though, and what makes the latter option impossible, there's no main menu at all, which I actually quite like. It gets straight to the building, you click the icon on the Switch home screen, It's almost like opening a box of Lego, it's just kind of straight into it. Outside of that though, one thing I do think the game is lacking in is replay value. Well, yes, I could build technically, you know, in a different way. I've seen everything the game has to offer at this point in its story, and while yes, there is freedom, there's not enough to pique my interest. For me, where this one would have kind of benefited was like, think like a sandbox mode. Give me a ton of pieces, give me an empty map, and just let me build. Not for these characters, but for myself, because I promise you then, this would have been an experience with just endless replayability and yeah, some serious creativity on, well, basically, yeah, on display from the community. Overall though, look, honestly, gameplay wise, it's the best Lego game I've played in years that actually captures the spirit of Lego like few before it. Just do not come here for jokes or platforming or anything like that. Come here to build. And for me, that is what like Lego is all about. Graphically, it's stunning. It's committed to the brand through and through, and while we've no doubt all got comfortable with the, you know, Lego animations and expressive nature of them, these are what for the most part came in the box. It's low detail textures and almost pastel at times in its color design. It just suits the calm nature of the game though, and I just did not think a few Lego bricks could look this good, but honestly absolutely blew me away, from the motion to the water that washes into like almost bubbling landscapes. Between the minimalistic design though and the often incredible lighting, this is just an absolute looker. My only thing visually, occasionally it's a little tough to identify what bricks you can move, so you have to kind of quickly skip through them. Maybe just one extra button in the controls that would, like, you know, interactively show me what I can control. That would have been a nice final touch. Audio, and yeah, again, stunning. It's a very calm piece, and I think the design here was always a puzzle experience that can be relaxed at the same time, you know, demand a little brain power almost, but let the player enjoy the ride. And the music is just some really stunning compositions, and not only give that sense of calm, but also often kind of reinforce the emotion of the scene itself. I promise you it works just as well as the over-the-top like animations we've kind of like come to expect from the Lego name. Rounding out the sound then, we do get a few sound effects here and there. They just kind of notify us of key moments or that very occasional bit of action. Most importantly though, we do get the click of Lego bricks coming together. Never realised just how nostalgic that sound can be. You won't be able to help but smile in these moments, I promise you that. Sadly though, I will say audio, it does have one issue though. On a few levels, just a few, nothing like major here, but occasionally when you do move pieces too quickly, the sound can overlap with each other and it can distort. So overall, I think you can tell I'm definitely impressed. When I saw this, I actually expected more of the same Any Ages entertainment that we've come to expect. And don't get me wrong, anyone can enjoy this still. I just think the open nature of the story to interpretation, that's a bold move. And I think it's fair to say this is probably aimed maybe at a slightly more mature audience. The gameplay then is a kind of simple idea that instantly captures the magic of Lego, and the music, the graphics, it all just kind of wraps up what is a fantastic experience that I'll tell you now I can absolutely get behind. For me, the good just absolutely overshadows the few issues I had, like the perspective or the audio quirk that I saw occasionally. The main thing I actually wish it had was the original experience from Apple Arcade alongside this new extended edition, because more is not always better, and this is kind of like a prime example of that. But then why not also just give us a blank canvas and let us kind of get our own creativity on, you know, kind of like away from these two characters, because a fantastic story they're telling here with no words. But why not just let me kind of build for the sake of building? That is what Lego is all about. Even then though, like a great 8 out of 10 from me. It might be short, but I loved every single minute of it, and I think a lot of people out there are going to be seriously impressed. Will you be adding this one to the library though, or are you going to be holding onto that cash? With that, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Now if you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.